I know it might be a little bit out of left field for us, but sometimes you have to do jobs in order to work on your projects because you just can't finance the entire thing with nothing. So here we got a nice old Jeep Patriot that's actually in pretty good shape, minus she has a little bit of rocker issues going on, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. Let's take a look. Now, did I say Liberty? I meant to say Grand Cherokee, but you know, same thing, same old. Let me show you guys the rocker. So, it's got the old rocker damage and spray foamage, not exactly super good. And then, inner rocker, as you can see, she's gone. But other than that, it's pretty good for what it is, really. So we got to rebuild this rocker here. And we got a little bit of a cheat code. We got some kind of form-fit rockers to do the job. But, you know, we're going to have to massage and make panels and a whole bunch of stuff anyway. Now, the other side is just as good, you know, just as crisp. But I think it's going to turn out okay. Now, I know what you're going to say. Cool, don't you have a whole bunch of steel work to do on this international pickup? Don't you have an engine and transmission that have to be, you know, gone through, freshened up, and then put inside that chassis? All before summer so you can go to events and enjoy the truck you've been working on? A little international over there? And the answer is yes to all of those questions, but we gotta make a buck to save a buck, so that's what we're doing on this fella. Let's make some rockers. Welcome to High Ho Station. So first thing you want to do, disconnect your negative post if you're working on a good vehicle. You don't want to violate those computers. Now, I think I can work around this front door here. Now, don't get me wrong, fellas. This is not a showroom type job here. This is the New Brunswick inspection doesn't like having rot visible. Get the rot not visible, basically. That's the type of deal we're doing. Getting rid of the spray foamage, all that stuff, and just kind of going over. So what I'm kind of imagining on doing, this is the universal rocker that we got. We got two of these guys. That's what they go on. It will hide the outside. We still have to make panels for the back and panels for the front. We can't save any time there. It's just how it is. But I think what we're going to do, normally you would build your back panel first on these fellas, your back rocker, your inner rocker, and then weld this to the outside. There's nothing left of the inner rocker to go by. I think the better plan is to weld this guy to this, do a cut and butt, that kind of stuff. And then from the inside, at least now we have two surfaces that we can bridge the gap to and weld. So we can make one square piece, put it in, cut, flush, that kind of stuff. And then we just got to deal with our dog legs and our small pieces per side. I think that's a much better strategy. Now, I was going to take this door off, but that involves a lot of extra connectors, airbags, that kind of stuff, so we're not going to deal with that. I think I can work around it. We're going to see. We're just going to grind down a little bit of the paint here and there, do a tack weld on top, and then we're going to do a standard cut and butt on all the surface that we can, and then we're going to go from there. In case you guys were wondering why I'm not doing tack welds on the visible side, like, you know, tack, tack, tack through the holes, there's nothing there to go by. So let me show you exactly what we're dealing with. All that spray foam, it's all inside the dog leg. We're basically going to get as much as we can out of this fella before we weld him up. But I had to make a back corner to the back rocker that connects up to the good section of the dog leg. Kind of goes like that there. And then this bottom's solid enough that I can weld it there. But we got to come in here and repair all that. There's a lot of work just on the outside. And then on the inside, we got to do the inner rocker and a couple braces. Either way, it's a... Spray foam's not your friend. If you ever want to keep a vehicle for a long time, you might think, we'll just spray foam it for this MVI, if you guys got MVIs and stuff.
and hide the rust, don't. It makes it a lot worse. There's a reason Old Blue out there, he's visibly rusty, but nothing's rotten through. There's no spray foam in that truck. When I did the rockers and the floor and all that stuff, we got rid of all the spray foam. It doesn't retain moisture. It's just like a sheet of steel sitting outside. It will last a long, long time that way. Spray foam, however, rots it from literally within out. Either way, I'm going to keep augering that guy out, and let's weld in that new panel. All right, so that's kind of what we got going on there. It melded pretty good with the rocker, the piece I made here. So now what we have to turn our attention to is this back corner, whoop, 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 right there. And basically that has to kind of come up just like so. And then later on we can get inside and make like a channel or something on the inner rocker. But I got to make this guy. You know what? We'll make the outer rock. We'll make the inner rocker. So that's first. What we got going on there. We still got a hole here, hole there, that kind of stuff. But that pretty much wraps it up for that back corner there. Now we got to do the kind of the same thing on this front corner here. All right. So the front dog leg is not good at all, to say it lightly. But this is the plan. The curve starts about right here. From full rocker, it kind of curls in. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut this bit off and cut this flush. That way we have a good solid piece. And then we're likely just going to plate the entire thing. We have to do some additional work right here because, you know, the old screwdriver doesn't lie. It will go right through up until about right here. So we got to cut pretty much this all the way over and down through. Basically square it off there. I might even go up a little bit onto this. It's hard to say. But there's a lot of work to do just in this one corner. Plus, we got to trim it right there because it shouldn't go past the fender. We should be able to tie it in right there. But that will complete the outer portion of this entire rocker. Once we get that done, then we can start to, you know, work on the underbelly. And it's not good. But we'll focus on that guy, get him squirreled away, and then we can deal with the big stuff. There, I ended up putting the phone down for this one section because there's no real good angle on it. But yeah, it's a multi-piece dog leg on this fella. It's rotten all the way through. I had to do a little patchwork up inside, but it's perfect for this guy. So when we close the door, the rocker goes in like it should. There's like a plastic cover that goes over this at the end. So a little bit of rock guard on that, and it should be pretty darn slick. So now what we got to do, we got to build that back piece, and then we can finish up that back dog leg. All right, so we got to start dealing with, you know, the inner rocker now that we got the outer rocker all kind of squared up. So yeah, there's a lot to digest on this fella. Good thing is the cab mount's all right, and the floor is solid enough that we should be able to zing off the old stuff and put new, but it's crisp. She's real crisp. So what we're gonna try to do is come in here, right? Because this is the main, or sorry, this is the inner rocker on this side. And then I believe this was a piece of rocker that went like this. So it was like a dual step. I'm pretty sure that's how that was from factory. So we're gonna try to recreate that. Yeah, you can kind of see that dual step right here. That's kind of what we're dealing with. And there's more spray foam. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to cut right up to here, right? Along the whole thing. Do a flat panel up. and that will be welded directly to this. And then we'll do our dual 90, like a whoop, 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 and we'll weld directly to the floor and then to our flat piece along the entire thing. First off, there's gonna be a lot of cutting, and you guys really don't want to see any of that, I can bet, because it's all in a bad spot there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm basically gonna get rid of all the rot so we have a clean slate, and then we're gonna go from there. Wish me luck. It's gonna be a very dirty mess, not very entertaining, but it has to be done. So, so we got up underneath the vehicle here. Oh, jeez. We got the innermost rocker. He's tacked at the top, and we got the tack started going down the inside of that rocker. So it has an inner rocker now. But now what we have to do is we have to work on the actual structural part, because this is basically just meat for me to weld to, because there's no meat anywhere. It's really bad. So what we're going to do, we're going to weld up in here, just on the other side of this lip. And then that is going to kind of come down like this, almost like an L. And it's going to weld directly to this. And that will complete the rocker, other than the dog leg and this dog leg. But you can kind of see how it used to be. That's what we're going for. So, no time like the present. I'm going to bend up the other long channel that we got. Same idea. Like that. And then we're going to weld her in. All right, so we got updates. I got the inner rocker. We got it tack welded to the bottom. The plan's going okay so far. Until we get to the floor here, there's not enough meat on this floor to weld. We're just going to end up blowing through it. So we're going to have to get creative on the top. Not the way you're supposed to do it, but otherwise we'll be into floors on this whole thing. And frankly, this job is not involving floors. And there's no holes yet, but it's rotten enough that you can't weld to it. So we're actually going to use like a construction adhesive on the top and seal it up, and it should be okay. And then we just got to do this little bit of a dog leg on the back. There should be enough steel there for metal work, and we still got to do this back section. So what I'm going to do, we're going to move on to this section right here and cap this little guy off. This needs a little cap piece right here. Nothing too crazy, but should turn out all right. All right, so we got the back section of the rocker all fabbed up and put in. Again, we can't weld any of this up top. It's just gonna blow right through the floor. So now what we have to do, this guy, he's incredibly soft. Incredibly soft. You can see the dents just kind of happening. He's the brace that goes with the rocker, so we're gonna have to like cut it pretty much as far back as we can and try to brace it over and just kind of cover that up. Just plate it, basically, is all we have to do. But we also have to do that back dog leg. So I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna do the plate first, and then we're gonna do the dog leg. All right, so let's talk about the rocker. Here, that's the idea we had for the back. It's not ideal, but other than replacing the entire piece, that's what we got. So we plated it, joined it to the good rocker. Again, up top on this, the floor is too soft. We can't weld to it. So that's gonna have to be construction adhesive all the way through, but it's welded solid where we could. Oh, let me get my light here. There we go. We got the cap at the end of our dog leg there to our body mount. So that's all construction adhesive around there. I'm over here to the back tire. That's what we got going on for the back dog leg. Not too bad, hides it pretty good. We had to curl this piece right here. That's the bottom brace, we had no choice. But once it's all seam sealed and undercoated, won't be any of the wiser. And then that's what we got going on for the front and back. Just like that. And just like that. So, not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. I'm going to wire brush it down. We're going to seam seal over where we need to. And then we're going to do the old undercoat, or gravel guard, I should say. Just finished cleaning that guy off, you know, with some lacquer thinner. Got her all clean. Now what we're going to do, we're going to run the construction adhesive along all the seams like a seam sealer. All right, so that's kind of what we got going on rocker-wise. Got the undercoat, basically, or I should say the rock guard on the front face. And then up in here, we got the rubberized undercoat. I'll show you guys underneath. And that's the underneath. So as I said, it pretty much hides everything, which is good. But this car is on borrowed time. But it will be able to get another MVI like this. Gives it good rockers. So yeah, we still have the complete other side to do. But this one finally is all polished up and we can use it for a control on the other side. But that's going to do it for this video because we're kind of out of time. But I can do it on the other side, no sweat. So either you guys will see that or I'll do it behind the scenes. Who really knows? I hope you guys enjoyed this video and we'll catch you guys in the next one really, really soon. Hey, see ya.